At the end of the day, the good news is that in this world that can be so fucked up and full of people who think only of themselves, it was a beautiful thing that someone I don't know was so invested in our shared journey. Welcome to the Spinoso Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Spinoso, and my expertise is in building and scaling all types of medical businesses to 7, 8, and even 9 figures. And I'm sharing my journey with you. This isn't a podcast telling you you should do this. It's simply telling you how I did this. I want to help you build your business, take ownership of your life, and become a better leader at home and at work. And if you want to connect with me and you're a clinic owner, go to dralexspinoso.com. I have tons of free courses on how I built my medical businesses. I'm never going to sell your shit. I have multiple posts weekly, as well as other podcast episodes that can help you guys build your medical businesses. And also I invite you to connect with me on Instagram, Dr. Alex Spinoso. Let's get into it today, guys. You ever have a moment in your life where you have a sudden, shocking realization? And that realization leads to an even bigger, more wide-ranging realization about the nature of life itself? It's crazy. It can have a huge impact on you and remind you in a very poignant and powerful way how you are supposed to live. I mean, what the fuck am I talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. A while ago, I went on a business trip to Chicago to speak at a conference for medical and aesthetic entrepreneurs. The morning after the conference was over, I woke up, got dressed, packed up, and grabbed an Uber to O'Hare. I wanted to get to the airport early just because I didn't want to be in a hurry. I wanted to just chill and work at the airport for a little while before the flight. But also because I was in a hurry to get back to my wife and family because I missed them. Anyway, I have TSA pre-check and clear, so I usually never have to worry about lines or issues with security. It's phenomenal. As I walked through the metal detector and waited to grab my bag, I looked down at my hand and saw that my wedding ring was gone. I had taken it off the night before because I never sleep with my wedding ring on. Motherfucker, I thought. Frantically retracing my memory, I realized I'd left it on the end table in the hotel. Looking at my watch, can I make it? I asked myself. I didn't actually know. Well, fuck it, I said to myself. I'm not going to lose my wedding ring. At that moment, I became Gollum from Lord of the Rings. I became the guy who was obsessed with finding the one ring. My precious, my ring. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you aren't a nerd like me. Read the books, watch the movies, they are badass. My point is, look, I suddenly became a man, a hobbit on a mission. I immediately ran out the exit and ordered another Uber. Bucha, my Uber driver, pulled up and I hopped in. All right, Bucha, I told him. I forgot my wedding ring in the hotel. I got to get back ASAP or I'll miss my flight. Bucha responded, okay, my friend, I will not speed. At that point, I said, that's right, I understand. And immediately I was thrown back into the seat because Bucha peeled out of the airport like a proverbial bat out of hell. I mean, I literally kid you not. This guy is jumping speed bumps and cornering his SUV like a Gymkhana driver. He pulls up to the hotel and I literally jump out while it's still rolling. The bellman looks really concerned. Are you okay, sir? He asked as I ran by him. Yeah. I yell, I forgot my wedding ring. Here's a really fortunate thing. It was still early in the morning, so I still had my key card. And by sheer act of providence or some great act of universal serendipity, I didn't leave it in the room nor throw it away like I've done hundreds of times before. I get upstairs, I grab the wedding ring, take the elevator back down, and then run faster than motherfucking Flash the superhero out the hotel doorway. I thank the bellman on the way out, and then I hop back into the Uber. Bucha takes off like a bullet, driving like Ken Block, drifting around quarters and getting back to the airport. He pulls into Terminal 2, and all of a sudden, I have another realization, another bad one. Fuck! In my haste, I chose the wrong terminal for my Uber destination. We were supposed to be at Terminal 1. I frantically try to add the stop to the next terminal, but it accidentally completes the ride. Game over, right? All for nothing, right? I mean, I can't expect this Uber driver to cope and adjust with not only my first mistake, but my second one as well. I'm asking a lot here, a whole fucking lot. At that point, I'm ready to admit defeat and accept the reality that I'm going to miss my flight. Possibly not get another flight until much later in that day or even the next day, and completely screw my ability to relax on Sunday and spend time with my family before another insane week of business starts up. Here's the thing though. I later found out that Bouchard is a French Arabic name that means man and also has the meaning that means bringer of good news. Well, that's appropriate because Bouchard is the man. Don't worry, he says, I got you, hang on. And once again, he peels out of Terminal 2. And listen very closely to this part. This guy, who quite honestly can't make a ton of money as an Uber driver, who works in a city where the cost of living is sky high, and who works for a company, Uber, that I have heard is increasingly screwing their drivers over with their payment plan. I mean, Uber takes 40% of these guys' pay sometimes. This guy, Bouchard, looks at his phone, he sees that the ride is completed, and he quietly, under his breath, says to himself, money isn't everything. Almost seemingly like he's telling himself, reminding himself, reassuring himself. Now listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I am a committed capitalist. Obviously, I don't think money is a bad thing. And I definitely don't think it's the root of all evil. I love creating wealth and I love what money can do for you and for everyone around me. But I'm also not a soulless Scrooge McDuck. I'm also not an idiot. So as he pulls into Terminal 1, I say to him, Bouchard, money might not be everything, but being a good person is. And I hand him $100. Bouchard's face lights up and he smiles wide. You made my entire day, he yells at me as I hit the ground running with my bags in hand. I got through security and made it to the gate 5 minutes before boarding. I mentioned earlier that Bouchard's name also means bringer of good news. At the end of the day, the good news is that in this world that can be so fucked up and full of people who think only of themselves, it was a beautiful thing that someone I don't know was so invested in our shared journey. Together, we were a wizard and a hobbit on a quest for a ring. No, money might not be everything, but being a good person, well, that is.